Good morning po sa ating lahat. Today is April 21. So naka-schedule tayo for bidding, for pre-bid. So before we start po, tayo po muna magsitayo sa panalangin sa pangunguna ng Engineer Rene.
Sa ngalang Ama na Anak ng Diyos Espiritu Santo. Amen. Diyos Ama namin, maraming salamat sa panibagong araw na iyong kaloob. Naway patuloy mo po kami pagharian ng aming buhay. Ikaw lamang, Panginoon, ang aming lakas, pag-asa at gabay upang magtagumpay. Amen. Sa ngalang Ama ng Diyos.
Thank you. At para po sa ating attendance, Engineer Janet.
Attendance for today's pre-bid conference, John Richard Maghinang, Head Back Secretariat, John Santa Ana, TWG Head, Rene Sarmiento, TWG Member, Joanna Joy Antonio, TWG Member, Maria Fe Santos, Back Provisional Member for Goods and Services, Diana Rose Alarcon, Back Secretariat Staff for Goods and Services, Teresita Faustino, TWG Member, Michael L. Principe, Back Vice Chairman, Dalia Santos, Head Back Secretariat Support Staff, and attending us through online, Rogasiano H. Nicolas, Back Provisional Member, Arnel C. Gubara, Back Provisional Member, Julieta M. Reyes, Back Regular Member, Ace M. Copper, Back Chairman, and Edgar A. Sarto, Back Regular Member. And for our representative, Lisa Militante from Circa Security Incorporated, James Laab from Super B Security Agency Incorporated, Elgilbert Yoserio from Militant Security Agency, and Reginald de los Reyes from SNS Security Agency. Mr. Vice Chair, we have a quorum for today's pre-bid conference. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a quorum. Call to order tayo for the pre-bid conference. Okay, so for the presentations of project to be bid, Miss Diane. Ay, natepe pala.
Good morning, everyone. We have two projects scheduled to have pre-bid today, namely, number 1, contract ID 25 GCD02, contract name, Procurement of Security Services of Security Guards from Private Security Agency for deployment at DPWH Bulacan 2nd District Engineering Office, Pulong, Buhangin, Santa Maria, Bulacan. Contract location, Pulong, Buhangin, Santa Maria, Bulacan. Brief description, procurement of security services of security guards. Purchase request number 25-03-0040. Approved budget for the contract, 4,546,701 pesos and 60 centavos. Source of fund, RA 12115, regular 2025 current. Delivery date of goods, 365 days. Cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos only. And for project number 2, contract ID 25GCD03, contract name, procurement of various equipment and materials for use of Bulacan 2nd District Engineering Office, Santa Maria, Bulacan. Contract location, Pulong, Buhangin, Santa Maria, Bulacan. Brief description, procurement of various equipment and materials. Purchase request number 25-04-0050. Approved budget for the contract, 9,999,482 pesos and 72 centavos. Source of funds, 0110101, regular agency fund, general fund, new general appropriations, special budget of national government agency. Delivery date of goods, 30 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 10,000 pesos only.
Okay, so we have two projects to be bid on May 2, 2025. So for the additional requirements and reminders, Engineer Dalia.
Morning po. For additional information and reminders for the said bidding date for goods, interested bidders may acquire the complete set of bidding documents starting last April 12 until May 2 of 2025. It can also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System and the website of the procuring entity, provided that the bidder shall pay the applicable fee for each bidding documents indicated in the contract ID not later than the submission of their bids. Our bid submission is done manually. Bids must be received by the Back Secretariat here at the conference room, Bulacan 2nd District Engineering Office, Pulong, Buhangin, Santa Maria, Bulacan, on or before May 2 of 2025 at 10 o'clock in the morning. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be right after the deadline of the submission of bids, so you can also view it through our live stream on our YouTube channel at Bulacan_2nd at DEO. Everyone is also reminded to check the website if there are bid bulletin or supplemental bids issued by this office. Thank you.
Okay, kindly check po yung ating online platform. Okay, wala. So, on-site po, meron po ba kayong question o ika-clarify?
Good morning to everyone po. Dennis Miscliado from Circa Security. Sa ongoing statement po ba, we need to attach contract or any supporting document or simple as matrix lang po nung ongoing namin?
For the ongoing po, siguro pwede na tayong mag-attach lang ng matrix. Tapos, upon kung wari ay mag-proceed tayo sa post-qualification, kung hingin po ng TWJ yung proof of like mga contracts nyo na mga saka nyo na lang po i-provide. Pero matrix po pwede na.
Pwede na po magtanong regarding po dun sa financial proposal. We follow the not less than 20% administrative overhead under Republic Act 11917. Yung admin po is not less than 20%. We follow po ba under Republic Act 11917? Yung under the Republic Act 11917, yung admin fee is not less than 20%. Ipapalo po ba natin yun?
As per the bid docs, posted bid docs po sa PhilJobs, wala naman pong provisions regarding the 20% in accordance with the RA, RA 1197, but we'll have to review it with the back po, and then we will be sending or posting supplemental bulletin if in case we're gonna implement the provisions of the RA.
Thank you po.
Po.
Good morning po. Ang question ko po, gaano po karaming security guards are we looking for? Kasi kasama dun sa PhilJeps, dun sa invitation to bid kasi. Yung mga specifics noon. Okay. Ha? Tapos din po yung kung ano po yung oras ng mga shift nila. Kung day shift, night shift, ganun po. Saan ako nandun sa ano? Naka-attach ba doon? Saan to nakuha? Oh. Binigay lang nila. Sige. Hingi na lang. Hingi na lang po siguro ako ng ganito kung may kopya, no? Pero parang wala rin po kasi dito yung ano. Wala po dito yung oras kasi, yung sa shift kasi. May difference po kasi in terms of pay. 12 hours, 12 hours. 12 hours, 12 hours. 12 hours. Ito po ba ay, sabi niyo po kanina doon, 365 days po, ano? Inclusive po ito ng lahat ng holidays, lahat po ng Sundays, Saturdays po, ano?
So, inclusive of holidays.
365 days.
Saturdays, Sundays po.
Okay. Meron po ba kayong mga designated halimbawa ng mga equipments that you're looking for?
Sir, balikan ko lang yung una mong questions.
Sige po,
Like,
sige
ano,
po, sir.
5 units ng, ito pala. Security guards, uniform as per PNP, sa technical specs po. Wala ding nakalagay sa bid docs natin. Yes sir, ano po yung next question niyo po? Sorry po.
Sunod ko po sir, natanong yung mga equipment that you'll be looking for. For example, will you be looking for radios or firearms?
Yes sir,
or
meron
ano
po. Under technical specifications po, like 5 unit 9mm shotgun with at least 18 live
Nabahagi rin po nito, no?
ammunitions.
Itong
Yes po. Available po yung bid docs sa PhilJeps po. Posted din po with regards sa mga requirements. Hindi po ba siya na?
Hindi po naka-download po kasi doon eh.
Okay,
Kaya
pagbigyan na lang po kami
nagtatanong
ng copy ng bid docs.
sige po.
Pero meron siya sa bid docs. Nakalink din po siya. Kung wala po sa bid docs, pwede din po natin i-check sa DPWH website po.
Meron po ba kayong required bukod sa security guard? Are you requiring, for example, a security officer or a commander, detachment commander?
Required po.
Sige po. Okay. Sige. Ano pa mga tanong? Ilan po muna, sir, siguro muna ngayon.
Questions po.
Morning, Mr. Chair and everyone. Sir, ilang copies po yung sasabit namin na documents po?
For the biddings po, for our bidding po, nire-require lang po namin ng isang original copy and one copy.
One copy.
Bali, 2 in total po.
Okay, sir. Then, sir, ano pong minimum wage ang gagamitin namin? Kasi starting April 16 is 550 na yung new wage ng Region 3. So, yun na po ba yung gagamitin namin?
Yes po. As per the minimum wage po ang gagamitin natin. Depende po din sa inyo kung ano yung tataas pa kayo doon or not.
Okay, sir.
Hello po ulit. Clarification lang po regarding po dun sa number of days. Kanina parang namin ko is 365. Pero dapat, di ba po ba dapat 325 days? Kasi nga po may mga holiday, special holiday, and dapat 325 days per year ang gagamitin.
As per review namin sa aming ah, ABC, bali computed siya as 395 calendar days. So we'll just have to issue a supplemental bulletin with regarding the delivery of the services. We will make it 395 days po.
Yes, sir. Another question, sir. Ina-allowed po ba natin mag-discount sa bid offer?
Yan po.
Pwede naman po.
Yes
Thank you
po.
po. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Other questions po? So, yun na. Kung ano po, if may other questions pa po regarding dun sa bid natin, we could, after this pre-bid conference, if in case, meron naman po, pwede naman kayo yung mag-notify sa amin in writing para masagot din po namin as bid bulletin. Thank you po. Sir, sir, magano na lang po, as per ITB, sa akin na lang po, sa back secretariat na lang po, kasi hindi po pwede makapag-communicate ang back members sa ating mga bidders.
Can I get po yung, maya-maya po siguro?
Yes po. Meron naman po sa invitation to bid natin. May email po and contact number.
Siguro
Apo.
sa kabila po. Sige po.
Okay po.
Salamat po.
Okay po.
Okay, so kung wala na, time check na tayo na. It's 10:38 a.m. So this private is now adjourned. Thank you.